Oh, dit is fijn.
Assalamu alaikum, Agandi, namaste, hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Arthie Moore, and we have
Jan Robberts.
And we're from the Key Leadership Institute, absolutely thrilled and excited to be hosting this panel discussion. We are coming to you live with amazing experts. And before we bring them onto the platform, I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up about Jan Robberts, who's the founder of JR Speakers Club. He is the co-founder of Key Leadership Institute with over 30 years of experience in the oil industry, has worked in over 10 international countries, and is now based in South Africa. He is also the executive director of the John Maxwell team and the Presidential Advisory Committee. And what's impressive about him is that he is an amazing human being whose absolute passion is to help people find their truth, speak their truth, find their voices, and become people of significance. Now we have got Jan is going to be hosting most of our platform today, and I'm just going to chip in here and there with exciting, fun snippets just to entice you and say thank you for being on this platform. We hope that you grow from this and you learn tons from everybody here.
Well, thank you, Arthie. And of course, before we bring on the other panel members and the keynote speaker, which there is 6 of us today from international countries, from the United States, from Uganda, from South Africa, and from Bangladesh. It's going to be amazing. And it's all about developing growth mindset for career development. You know, every session so far has been full of information, full of knowledge, full of sharing, and full of answering questions. And when you're here already, we hope that you bring your friends, because it's not the last session yet, but who would have believed it that we've already the 8th day is come today. And we have a few more sessions ahead of us. But this session, if your friends or your fellow students aren't here yet, like and share it and bring them to it, because this is developing growth mindset for career development. And first of all, I have to introduce, there is 2 ladies on the team. And of course, the first lady I have to introduce, since he's already on the screen, is my partner in Key Leadership Institute and my partner, Arthie Moore. Now, Arthie Moore is a lady I met at the John Maxwell International Certification in Orlando 6 years ago. And Arthie has also got, she's got a couple of companies, and one of them is Celebrating Humanity International. Arthie has been an international specialist in diversity and inclusion, and she's a specialist in learning styles, in conflict resolution. She's a strategist. She has authored. She writes articles regularly. She has a depth of knowledge in people that I have rarely seen around the world, and I've traveled all over the world. So with the development, the diversity and inclusion, she has been training for 20 odd years all over the world. And she's also in the middle of writing a leadership book, because she's also a John Maxwell a leadership team member, coach, trainer, and speaker. She's a facilitator. Arthie is authoring a book about the compassionate leader of influence, which is coming out later this year, and I'm most excited about that, because I already know some of what's in it, because I know Arthie, and you're going to be excited. She's been recognized by Graça Michel Mandela for empowering women at work. She has done so much more, but we need to keep it short. But I want to introduce you to Arthie Moore first, and again, she's not going to be just adding to it. No, we're both going to host this the panel discussion after the main keynote, which I'm also equally excited about. And before I bring them on, I want to thank Augmedix for sponsoring this whole 8 days, in association also with IPDC. And of course, we cannot go any further without, first of all, thanking CKH Network, of which we're a strategic partner, for all the hard work they've done beforehand. And even now still, they've had sleepless nights. They bring in 80-odd speakers from around the world together to help you, to guide you, to make sure that you will be the next generation leaders in this Next Gen Leaders Virtual Summit. So now it's my pleasure to bring on the second lady who will be joining us for this panel, and that is Edidah Mpumwire from Uganda. I hope she's coming on.
I hope so. Hi.
Hello,
Hi,
Edidah.
Gandhi.
Gandhi, as Arthie already said, we just learned that from you.
Thank you.
Now,
Happy to be here.
it's wonderful to have you here as well. And as somebody says, you're close to us. Now, Uganda to South Africa is a fair walk. But you're on the same continent at least. Yeah. But welcome. And Edidah combines a passion and experience with extensive training as a personal and professional development consultant. She worked as a teacher, HR manager, before moving into personal and professional development work. She has been a workplace wellness and team engagement trainer and personal development coach since 2009. She is a certified professional and distributing partner in the Jump movement, training Jack Canfield's success principles methodology, and introduction leader facilitator for Landmark International. Adida is also a facilitator for the Jump movement, which is well known in Bangladesh in the engagement team. So welcome, Adida, to this platform, and we look forward to engaging with you, and we look forward to our audience, our students who are eager and hungry, because we've had more than 1,200 comments and questions on most of these panels so far, so we know there will be a lot of questions coming your way, and we're looking forward to you sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then secondly, from Bangladesh itself, from your own country, we've got Mr. Tanbir Sajib.
Hello, everyone. Walaikum assalam, and good afternoon, good morning to everyone.
Thank you very much for joining us as well. And Mr. Sajib, he has had 20 years of professional experience in leading pharma, MCNs, Roche, Novartis, Novista, Sanofi, and currently at Novo Nordisk with extensive functional and leadership exposure. He's a keynote speaker on marketing and management leadership, career counseling, and motivational enhancement at reputed leading universities at social and digital media. He's also a freelance writer and passionate contributor to music and lyricist for country-leading musicians. Wonderful fact. And is inspired to innovate continuously, passionate to learn from others, considering every change and challenge as an opportunity, and believing in success through team contribution. Mr. Tanjir Sajib, welcome to this panel. And again, we look forward to you exuding all your knowledge and sharing it with the students, and look forward to you answering all these questions and being part of this team. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to join such a fantastic platform.
Thank you very much. Then, thirdly, from Maryland in the United States, we have Sheikh Rahman.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste, and top of the evening, as Arthie would say.
Yes, and again, Sheikh, it's wonderful to see you at this platform as well. Now, Sheikh has been a long-term friend of ours, and a very appreciated friend as well. And Sheikh is from Maryland, the United States. Well, that's where he is, of course. He's a founder and consultant at the UNext Leadership. He operates a youth development and mentoring program, former director at Bakatula Electric Power Plant, a certified coach, trainer, and speaker, as well as an executive director in the John Maxwell team, a fellow executive director. He's an expert individual with leadership skills, business development, sales, marketing experience, and hands-on engineering, and team building experience on wireless networks, a variety of them. Now, he's also coaching and training business teams, sales coaching, motivational speaker. There is a lot more to be said of him as well. And originally, of course, he is from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Now, I must have a fact for my friend Sheikh Rahman. I actually looked up on LinkedIn, and I found another Sheikh Rahman there. And of course, you were not the all Bangladeshi American politician and the first ever Muslim lawmaker in the Georgia State Senate. But you've got fellow Sheikh Rahmans in the United States as well. But welcome to this team, and I know you very well, so I know you will ooze a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and you're eager to share on growth mindset and career development with all these eager students listening in. And welcome to the platform.
Thank you very much. Yeah, looking forward.
Wonderful. And last but by no means least, we have Raj Kapoor from Virginia in the United States, who is going to be our keynote speaker. Welcome, Raj.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And it's Namaste, Raj. And of course, like Sheikh, he's also a fellow John Maxwell team member and also very revered friend and fellow leadership expert. And Raj Kapoor, wealth mindset coach, executive leadership coach, speaker, author, radio show host, disc trainer. As an executive leadership coach, Raj believes in building world-class super leaders, one executive at a time. Raj is an award-winning C-suite leader and certified executive and leadership coach who has built, developed, and led large, globally competitive teams, provided transformational coaching to maximize productivity, improve staff morale, and inculcate powerful leadership skills. With over 25 years of experience and leadership wisdom backed by toolkit of the world's best leadership resources and cutting-edge techniques and ideas, he has developed financial leadership programs, introduced leadership training and mastermind sessions at various organizations, designed, developed, and led workshops on leadership, communication, and productivity across the country. He trained hundreds of leaders and trainers in Costa Rica with the John Maxwell team on an amazing transformational program, which I think most of us have been part of in our group. And Raj is going to be, for the next half hour, he will be our keynote speaker. And after that, of course, he will also be taking part in our panel. So even during his keynote speech, if you have any questions, you will get opportunities to ask them from Mr. Raj Kapoor himself afterwards as well. Originally, of course, from India, but now in the USA. So we've got a truly international panel afterwards. But we now give the floor to Mr. Raj Kapoor for an amazing 30-minute keynote. Raj, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jan and Arthie, and thank you for all the panelists. It is just feels amazing to be here. And thank you for the gracious introduction. Seriously, thank you. But I would like to thank, first of all, to Kamrul for setting up such an amazing virtual summit. So something which has never been done before. And it has been going great. I have been watching on and off on all what has been going on for the last 8 days. And it is just phenomenal. And the impact of this is going to be long and far-reaching. Because everything here that is being said and all the people from all over the world, all the top minds of the world that he has been able to accumulate, gather, have been able to give so much valuable information, which is going to be, these are the golden nuggets for everyone who is listening. And go back and listen to it again. There is so much value in these things. I have been in the growth mindset for years and years. And Jan just told everything about me. I started my own company, Options Ahead Inc. I'm a founder of CEO of that. And I'm a business coach, wealth mindset. There's so many things. But was it like this all the time? The answer is no, it wasn't. What led me to this journey was my growth mindset. That is what led me to it. And that is what we are going to talk about today, because that is exactly what is needed to be a part of it. Now, I just recently started a radio show. It's a radio show, and I'm a host there on a finance lane for startups. And I speak every Monday, which has been a new thing for me. And yes, it was a little unnerving in the beginning to be on the radio, because it's a total different ballgame where you are live talking to everywhere in the world. But if you would like, you can definitely log in. It's called ibgr.network. That's the website. And if you go to ibgr.network, you can hear me on Mondays, and I'll be taking on more shows on that. And so it has been a journey for me, which has been progressing as I have been stacking up things on top of it, successes and failures. Now, for all these years, just to give you a little bit of my background, I was a chief financial officer for over 30 years. With that, I always had businesses on the side. And before I ever became a teacher and a coach, I was a student. The main thing was to learn. Because before you can become a teacher, you need to become a student. You have to always be studying and growing. And the main and important thing is that growth and study never finishes. It is something which keeps on going, because that is how you keep on growing. There is so much out there which intrigues me. There's so much that I want to delve into. Books, podcasts, and now the information that is available in the world, it's unbelievable. It's at your fingertips. And people who are spending time in this time of pandemic and not doing anything and not feeding their minds, they're losing out. I mean, tell me, when did you have so much time with yourself? Ever? This is the only time you have with yourself. So much time, so use it, utilize it. And if you are a part of this event and part of the team that Kamrul has created, then I know that you have the growth mindset. Then I know for sure that you actually will be able to come forward, will be able to move up and do what you need to do. Now, one thing which I did after we are done with this talk, just to make sure that you do get the golden nuggets from all of us and what I'm talking about, I have created an ebook. And if you want to download the ebook, you can go to rajkapoor.com. It is rajkapur.com/ebook. Or if you just go to rajkapoor.com and click on free ebook, you should be able to download my ebook. I put it on a little bit ago, and that should be able to help you uh, after we are done with our event. So today we are going to talk about the successful mind, which is a must for developing. As a matter of fact, for anything in your life, you need a growth mindset. See, mindset is the primary factor in driving your feelings of self-worth, of confidence, and in order to achieve success in almost every area. It is a vital to have the right mindset and the strategy, because it has a tremendous effect on your performance. So, what I can tell you is that if your mindset can be defined as a set of beliefs that you have about yourself. So, there are two mindsets. One is a fixed mindset, and one is a growth mindset. Many people I have come across have a fixed mindset, and they believe that their intelligence and the qualities they have are unchangeable. And many of them, when I talk to them, their answer to me is, I know it all. Whenever I talk to them, oh, I know it. I have read it. I have read it. The problem is, whenever you talk about why have you not been succeeding in life, they have complaints. They would be complaining about every single thing. They would be complaining about the government. They would be complaining about the environment. They would be complaining about the pandemic. They would be complaining about their friends, family, how they grew up. It is a blame game. But their fixed mindset tells them that they know everything. They never take action, and I know for sure if you are here, you don't have that. Second is what we are talking about, the growth mindset. And that is where you believe that all the skills, the intelligence, that can be cultivated through effort and perseverance. The main aspect of the growth mindset is that you can develop and grow yourself. The growth mindset, people believe in progress. They see the challenge as an opportunity for learning and stretching themselves. And that is what you need to do. You need to stretch yourself. And we're going to talk about some specifics that you can do and work on as to how to develop that growth. Get stuck on the how do I do it, because I do not know. So not only the why, we're also going to talk about the how, but obviously the why is the first thing. And the growing yourself is what is actually going to set you on a path to true success and guarantee you a better tomorrow. That is the most important. You need to be better tomorrow than today. And you know what the best investment in the world is? The best investment in the world is to invest in yourself. You can never go wrong with that. if you start investing in yourself. So creating a success mindset is first and foremost is what to focus on and what not. Because many times what happens is we start focusing on almost everything because we want to be everything. We want to be an expert in everything. That sort of doesn't work. Because with that, what happens is you're going to miss out on the joys of the world. For a long time, I had that similar mindset where I was in every area trying this, trying that, until I put my focus as a laser focus. And I found exactly what my passion was, what I really want to do. All I used to believe was that hard work is what is going to get me to the success. But that is not only true. Hard work just is not going to make you successful. It is growing yourself, growing your mind that is going to be making you successful. But make sure that once you are growing yourself, you also are diversified in your life. That means you just don't look at one thing and say, this is my career. When I grow this, then I will be happy. No, you need to actually focus on everything in balance in your life. Obviously, there will never be balance in life because it never is, but that is how life is. But focus on things which are important to you. Take time for things which are important, not just work, not just reading, but also your family, recreation, rest for yourself. These things are really, really important because many times people just keep on going. And as Stephen Covey said, you need to sharpen your saw. That means you need to rest, take a back seat sometimes, relax, and figure out what's going on. That is also a part of growth, not just keeping on pushing. And I learned that the hard way. I'm just telling you, because I was like, let's go, let's start this business, have a full time job with it. And one of my mentors told me, because that is what you need in life is mentors who can help you, guide you, said that Raj, you're burning your candle from the both ends. But at that time I was young, so what's the big deal? I can burn it. But soon enough, I realized that I was actually not paying attention to my health. And once the health started going down a little bit, that's when I realized, no, I would never be fulfilled if I don't have health. What is all this going to get me? And so that is when I started to focus and said the growth mindset is not just focused on one thing, it is focused on what is most important to you. Now, success to each and every one of us is different, and we define it differently. You have to have your own definition of success. You cannot have a definition of success that your parents had, your peers have, your friends have, and just take it and say, oh, this is how I would be successful. Because for someone, just having good time with their loved ones and spending good enough time is success. For others, having millions of dollars, big mansions, luxury cars, even that is not success. So you have to create your definition of success as to where that success level is, and we will go over what to think about it in a few minutes. But see, success is all in your mind. Your mind has to be primed. Otherwise, believe me, you will keep on going through life, achieving things, accumulating things, and still not feel fulfilled and still not feel successful. You have to enjoy the things. That is why whenever you start to obtain things and you start to get successes, you need to celebrate them. I'm telling you for myself, I used to be always getting a success and moving to the next one, never celebrating it. And it didn't feel like success, even though it was. That's when I realized that you need to pause and reflect on it. You need to go back and see what you have done, how far you have come. And so I learned this from John Maxwell when he said that at the end of every single year, he sits down and goes over the whole year. And I do that every quarter. I go over the quarter and take a look what I have accomplished, what I need to accomplish, how far I have come, and how far I need to go. But first of all, you need to be crystal clear in on what you need. What is it that you are looking for? Because until you're absolutely clear on it and your mind is not focused, your mind will be going in all directions. And the reason for that is right now, in this day and age, there is so much information out there that you look at some shiny object and you run for that. Hey, maybe that thing can help me. Maybe that thing can help me. And I think most of us are guilty of that. I know, for I'm sure I am. If I take a look at all the programs I have purchased, I did get value from them, but I have stopped it because I want to make sure whatever I focus on, I need to get the full value out of it. So that is why, because you understand, what you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on where you want to go, what you want to achieve, that's what your mind starts focusing on and starts giving you those answers. But if you start seeing your problems and you only focus on the problems, a small problem will become insurmountable problem, feel like a mountain. But a big problem, if you start to shift your focus and start to focus on the solution, very soon your mind will get you the solution. It'll get you the people who are right for you, who need to be in your life at that time. I'm not just telling you from theory. This is actually something which I have experienced in my life. So why don't I give you a little bit of my story as to how it actually came about for me? That could be really helpful for you. So I'll go over that. So I have been a student all my life, as I said. I always used to learn. But till 2014, I was very content on being behind the desk, working as a chief financial officer, have a large team who were working. And if there was anybody who wanted to be in front, I would be like, go ahead. To the point where I started feeling at one juncture that I was this big fish in a small pond, that there was so much more that I have to give. And I cannot do that until I come and bring all what I know and have accumulated in front. And at that time, I said the only way to do it is I need to make sure that for this one full year, I am going to resolve to study every single day for at least 30 minutes to 1 hour. Either read, listen to an audio, or watch a video which is going to prime my mind and focus on where I want to go, where my focus, my passion becomes very clear. And at that time, the first time in my life, what I did was I actually put it on the Facebook. I had tried this before many times and it worked, but then the pressures of the job. I mean, I was working with 2025 budgets at one time, and it was just mind boggling. And soon enough, you lose that passion because that is what happens with goals. You set the goals, you move forward with it, and very soon they're gone because what happens? Life hits you. Okay, same things used to happen. But this time I said it needs to be different if I want to be where I want to be. And we will also discuss as we go on as to how to create that vision for yourself, for your growth. So I'm going to go over that in a little bit. But in my journey now, so what I did was I put it on the Facebook to all my friends and the public that this is what I intend to do. But on top of that, what I did was I created a website. I called it Experiments with Success. And I said anything that I'm going to read and feel that it is something that can help people, I'm going to blog it. And I did do it, but that was a scary thing for me. Where am I going to get the time from? Irrespective, I was gung ho, I did it. I started the website, and soon enough, within few weeks, when things hit me hard, it was difficult. But what was happening was now, because I had made my goals public and I made myself accountable, there were people who had started following me, people who had started commenting on my blogs. And when I, even if I came home late at night, it was there. I need to finish this. I have to go through that 30 minutes or 1 hour of reading, listening to something. And I think by the end of the year, every single day I did it. And I blogged for over, I think I had hundreds of, at least 100 blogs, if not more. And that literally that year shifted my life, because that year I got to into new programs. I started working with the programs from Darren Hardy, and I invested so much in it that he actually interviewed me for his program as an advertisement for his program because I was so vested in it. That is the year that John Maxwell team came into my purview. I joined the John Maxwell team, started to getting to know all the new friends, made a new peer group. My peer group, which was uh, the five most people, you become like them generally. That's what Jim Rohn had said, that you become like the five people that you are closest to. And I changed my peer group. People were like, what is going on wrong with you? And I was on a success ladder, and that success ladder really helped me to grow myself. I became a public speaker, which I was so scared of all my life. But you need to go through and break through things. Only thing that can happen through is through your growth mindset. And that was my story, because I'm just giving it to you to inspire you that from where I was to where I am right now, I am living where what my dream is. I'm doing what I want to do on a regular basis. And that can only be done if you take that action. Just putting it on paper is not going to help you. It has to be an actual action that you need to take. That action that will move you forward and make your life a study every single day. Every single day. Now, what you do need when you are on this journey. So let's go over that a little bit. You need a mindset that is closed against any negatives that is going to bring you down with your goals. What will happen on your growth journey, I'm telling you, is that people who are very close to you, the closest to you maybe, are going to be talking and saying, what are you working on? This is not helping you. Are you crazy? How are you spending your time? There is so much out there. Let's hang out. And you know what? You have to have your mind closed against those things, because once you get drawn into it, you will be out of it. Be very careful, because most of the people on this journey who were with you, let me be clear, who were with you, will not understand. And some of them could be very close to you. An example I heard, and I'll give you a very quick example on this. Some time ago in one of the sessions I was, there's a crab. Uh, is very much like humans. And you might have heard of this story, but again, it's good because many of you might not have. Uh, what happens is when they lower the crab trap, they have the crab feed in it, and the crab trap has no lid on it. And when the crabs go in there, they start to eat the crab feed. And then when the crab feed is finished, even if one of the crabs want to climb out of that trap, the other crab is going to pull it down to the point they might kill it and they break its claws. So be very careful, because there are many people who will do the same to you emotionally without even knowing or without even understanding it. So be very careful that your mind is tightly closed and you keep on going on the path that you have. Now, this is where your goals come in. Now, your goals are important because that is what is going to set you on this journey. Your goals have to start with a very strong why. Because if your why is not strong, most of us, that's what I was saying, is I was always hung up on the how. I don't know how to do this. The problem is how will come. It will come. The why is strong, why you want to do it. And if you have that why so solid and why so strong, then you can take any journey that you want to, any journey, and you will be solid on that, because that is where you would not be deterred. Because what happens is, long after your motivation is gone, because every time when we hear you are through this summit, your motivation will be high. You'll be gung ho, I'm going to do this, I will do this. And you know what? After a few days, when this goes, it fizzles down. And then, okay, I will do it. But if your why has become very strong now, then you will keep on going, even when your motivation is past. So go for your why. Okay, important part. Forget the how right now. It will come. If not now, it will come soon. Now, goals. Many people set goals which are so lame that they can easily reach it and they are like, oh, that's it. But most of the people set goals which are totally crazy, meaning to say they're not even achievable. And soon enough, their mind says, I can do this, and they fail. So, your goals, we will talk about that, should be such that they take you out of your comfort zone. This is the most important thing. They should take you out of your comfort zone. And if you haven't, if you go and download the workbook, the ebook that I have created, in that I have a small mind map which shows you that you are going from your comfort zone. And the other side is that I'm talking about is your dream zone. How do you go from your comfort zone to your dream zone is the journey that you need to take. So create all the strong whys in there and write it down, because that is what is going to help you. Now, as I said, get out of your comfort zone. It has to be important. So, and the goals need to be smart. You can find the smart word everywhere on the internet, but I think it's important to still understand what a smart goal means. So the smart means they have to be very specific. The goals cannot be very generalized. So if you want to lose weight, first of all, losing is not the word that should be done. I am also a certified hypnotherapist. So from that, I can tell you with hypnotherapy and NLP how your subconscious mind works. Talk about releasing weight, not losing weight, but be specific as to how much you want to release. That's one specificity. If you're studying something and going for it, be specific what those goals are. So that is most important. Is first of all, they have to be simple and specific, but simple, but take you out of your comfort zone. Most important. Second is measurable and meaningful. Why measurable? Because if you can measure it, then you know that you have come across and succeeded. Because how would you know your goal has been reached if you can measure it? And you will just be having a goal on the piece of paper or on your wall, just thinking, what do I do? No, they have to be measurable. And you should be measuring them often. Often meaning to say maybe every quarter, see how far you have progressed. With measurable, I would also say that the goals need to be a little flexible. The flexibility is a key here, because if you feel that you are on this path, don't be so rigid that if those goals are not serving you, that they are not changeable. You need to be flexibility should be there with measuring it. Then they should be achievable. Are your goals realistic and doable? See, I do uh, wealth mindset training. In wealth mindset training, I'm taking a set of people on a journey where they don't have the comprehension of how wealth and money and their mindset works, because that is really most important. And I call it the millionaire path. I take the people on that path. And many times what I realize is that many people have set goals which are not achievable. So a person is making $40,000 a year and they set a goal for $1 million that they want to achieve. What happens is it's a very nice goal, understood. Paycheck. You look at that paycheck and goes, mine goes $1 million. Are you crazy? I can never achieve that. And that is the problem that starts. Because when your mind cannot comprehend that level, I always tell everybody who I'm coaching that your goals should push you, but they should be achievable. So if you're making 40,000 and you say, my next goal is to make 80,000, that is double it. Is that doable? Your mind says, I can do that if I'm on this path. And that is how you incrementally set up your goals. You reach that goal, you celebrate now, because your mind loves celebration. And you said, wow, I have reached that plateau. I have reached, now I have the second goal to go. So they should be achievable, but your mind has to be able to comprehend that you can do it out of your comfort zone. If you're making 40 and you go with 80, yes, it is out of your comfort zone, no question, but it is achievable. Then is it relevant? Are your goals reasonable? That depends on what your success mindset is and how you set your goals. That is where your laser focus needs to come in. And then they need to be time bound. What does time bound mean? That means, are your goals going to hold you responsible and accountable? And there is a completion step on every stage. When I create my goals, I create a timeline for it during the year when want those to be achieved. If I don't achieve them, that's fine. I create a timeline where I know, and as I said, that is really important. Now, if you are in a business, you need business goals. That is also important. On personal aspect, you always need your goals. And if you are a student, you need your goals for your career. Where do you see your career? So now in the end, what I'm going to talk about is how your mind works and how we can for your growth mindset. And that, from my perspective, is really important to understand. So first, understand the concept. Uh, so consider the following as I'm going to go through. We know that objects in our environment are made of matter, a state in which they appear visible. We also observe that there are things and conditions in the world which are invisible. For example, you sow a seed, and soon enough, a small plant comes out of the earth, which later can form into a complete huge tree. Our bodies change, we grow, but we don't see that energy. We don't see what makes them grow. We become taller, we become bigger, we become older. That's a part of it. See, we think, but we don't see our thoughts. From my perspective, thoughts are real things. They're real. So there are many things, like electricity. You flip on a switch and you can just, the bulb comes on. You do not know how electricity may be working, but it is there in invisibility. If you don't believe this, just put your hand in an electric socket and I think you will you will definitely get my point. As I'm saying, don't do that. I'm just I'm just saying, sorry. So one example is, let's say, consider music. Where you're right now, can you hear music? And if you are hearing well, but if you're not, then many people will say, there is no music here. Well, if you're able to tune in into the right frequency on your radio or even on your computer, you will be able to hear the music. Music was always there. It is when you tap into that frequency, that's when you're able to hear it. That is how you have to understand that we live in a world which is visible, but we also live in a world which is invisible. All the forces and energies that produce the visible things. So everything in the world has two existences. Okay. One begins in the thought, which is invisible, and the other on the visible front that you can see. So right now, the building you are in, the city you live in, the car or the bicycle or the scooter, motorcycle, whatever you're driving, this all started with a thought in someone's mind. So sometimes we act on our thoughts quickly, and sometimes we have to wait for the conditions to be right. So understand, this is a really important concept. So do do understand that this concept is important to understand, because this is how you can manifest things in your exterior world. Everything starts with a thought. So how do you apply to develop your growth mindset for your career success? It has to start in your thoughts, and then it manifests in the exterior world. See, the achievement of a great career won't happen from luck, from anything outside yourself. It happens first by your thinking, and then telling you this is coming from our experience. This is not coming from something which I'm just relating. I myself am a living example and proof of all this as to how your mind works and how it is so powerful. But you need to program your mind with the right mindset and the right thoughts. You need to exactly know what you're looking for. And that is where that laser focus needs to come in. Once you have established your right beliefs in your conscious and subconscious mind, so I'm not going to be talking about conscious and subconscious mind because that's a topic for different aspect, and I do many talks on that, and maybe you can follow me on that and take a look as to what I talk about. But it is really important to understand that everything works in your subconscious mind, and then your conscious mind is what can really make it real. But that is how successful careers are going to be, or successful and something which is gratifying. It is not something you want to do for others, it is something which is close to you. It's something that is close to you. You have to be motivated. You cannot go in a job which you do not like and say, I love it. See, most of the people do not like what they are doing right now. They're just doing it because they don't have the right mindset and they need that paycheck. And most of the time, I'm telling you, in schools, colleges, everywhere, they don't teach you about money. It's not, but that is also a mindset. And what happens is once you are done with your schooling, what is the first thing you do to find a job or to start a business? For what? To get that money, but you don't have the mindset. So it's a vicious circle. But bottom line is the positive move towards greater self knowledge and self acceptance is a necessary step in embracing a lifelong learning. So this is the last thing that I would like to go over with you. One thing which I would like to do, I just took a Tony Robbins seminar, and Tony Robbins says, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Don't become a victim. It's other people's circumstances, and don't start blaming all the bad things that are happening in the world. The victim mentality is not going to take you anywhere, and that is what most of the people are. If there is something, then assume 100% responsibility for your life. 100% responsibility. So the last thing I would like to take a look is how to create that vision that you want to do. So we just discussed with your mindset. And with the mindset we discussed was that you can now start to envision things. So if you close your eyes and think of a very pleasant trip you might have taken, maybe mountains, maybe seashore, anything which is very close to you, some loved ones, which happened years ago. When you close your eyes, what you will realize is that you can create that picture or that movie in your mind. It'll come back to you, right? Because you have a visual mind. If you don't get that vision, then you will be able to feel it, or you'll be able to hear the sounds of what had happened at that time. Now, why don't we reverse that process? The reversing of the process is a long process, but I'm going to give you in a nutshell, so at least you have that tool in your mind. So when you close your eyes and start looking as to what your future looks like, what your career looks like, what that growth looks like for you, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years. You can go that far because your mind can comprehend what you want to be. Once you close your eyes, go into that state, relaxed state, and then you start seeing what your future is, what you want to create. What car are you driving? Where are you living? Who are you with? What clothes are you wearing? Make it real, not just visual, not just visual, because that is where most people failed when they read the book The Secret, that you start visualizing and things happen, and many people said it didn't. You have to feel it. Your subconscious mind cannot tell what a reality is and what a perceived thing is. So if you create it real, meaning to stay, you start living in there and you start seeing it, you can start hearing it, because your subconscious thing in the world first comes in the mind. That is when it becomes a reality. So if you're able to see your future now that you want, you will start to manifest it, because now you start to take and create those goals which we just talked about based on that vision. And you start to track back and you now set up your goals. And once you set up your goals, you will start working on them daily. That growth mindset will now catapult you in that direction. I gave you in a nutshell something which I teach in 8 weeks to people who I'm working with. But in a nutshell, this is what is the essence of everything. So write down your goals. Very important. Look at them daily. Look at them daily. Be flexible with them. Commit to lifelong learning. Surround yourself with positive and motivated people. Always be self-aware. Now do understand, you need to make change your friend, because that is the only thing in life that is permanent. That is change. And that will happen. And once you're on this growth path, you will be there. If you feel fear inside, because it might come in, that's a part of life. Face it head on, and the death of fear is certain. I was always fearful in my life a long time ago, until I read a book. It said, face your fear and do it anyway. I'm like, oh, okay, let me try it. And it worked. Because what happens is, once you face your fear, the fear is going to go away. Self-confidence is the key here. You need to become unstoppable. You need to become unstoppable and fearless. These are the 2 most important things. Take a look at what your desires are, but take a look at what your true wants are versus needs. What your habits are. That is what is going to catapult you here. Because everything has to boil down to a daily habit. If you have a daily habit, that's the only way you're going to work. And number 3 is, you need to make mistakes your friend. Do not be afraid to fail. Make mistakes. That's the only way to grow. Celebrate your successes. Each day when you make a conscious choice to show up as the highest version of yourself. Prime yourself in the morning. These are the important things. And finally, be grateful. That is the essence of life. Every single morning, I make sure, this is my notebook here, where I write down everything. And the first 3 things I write down is, what am I grateful for? What am I excited about? And then I do an affirmation for that day. What is my focus? What am I exercising on? And then I write down my daily things that I need to do. But that gratefulness, that I'm grateful for it, because you can never do everything yourself. You did not come here on this earth by yourself. You have to be grateful for people. And the gratefulness is going to take you to a different level. So I think I am at my time already. Am I right? Because I can keep on going. I'm sorry. So, because I'm so passionate about it, about these things. But I hope you got some golden nuggets out of it. And even if you, and that is the reason I told you that there is my ebook that I created, so you can go back, and I have kept a lot of things in that ebook from what I just talked about. And you can download it at Raj Kapoor, RajKapur.com. Click on free ebook, or go to rajkapoor.com/ebook, and you can download it. Okay. So my friends, I hope you had a wonderful listening. I had a wonderful time, I know, and I hope I added value to you. And thank you for the moderator. So let's get into the second mode now.
Well, thank you so much, Shukran. Thank you, Shukariya. Thank you so much. Dhanyabad, Dhanyabad. It was awesome and amazing to listen to you. It wasn't just golden nuggets. There was a whole minefield of platinum and gold all attached into one. So thank you for the diamonds, the gold, the platinum, every single thing that you gave to us. I love what you said about growing mindset. And what I loved was the journey you took us on how we need to change our beliefs, how we need to adjust our daily habits, how we need to put goals into place, and how we have to have an every single day intention to do something different and unique in what we read, in what we listen to, in the people we surround ourselves with, and everything we do to respect our journey too. I loved the fact that you said, celebrate your successes. I would also add celebrate your failures too, because those were the lessons given to us to show us what we need to do differently on the next step of our journey. So I love that. I loved everything you said about it. We've had amazing questions come through. I love the questions coming through from all of the students. You still have time to like, share, and engage with everybody. Bring your friends along, because growth mindset is not just for right now. It is an abundance mentality that you can develop. It is all about mind power. It's about manifesting what you truly deserve in your life. I loved all of the different snippets that Mr. Kapur spoke to us about. He spoke about our conscious, subconscious belief systems. And when you look at that, we have panelists on here who've gone through the journey, and their experiences have shown brilliantly how they've overcome in their lives, not just by physical action, but also by adjusting the way they thought about the experiences that they've had in their lives and what they could do differently. And based on that, we want to engage with our other panelists and ask from them to tell us a little bit more about their journeys and answer some of these important questions we've been getting from our students. So I would like to hand over to Jan so that he can tell us some of the questions, and you can catch a panelist while unaware.
Yes, we will do. And I hope that the audience have also watched what is happening, because although this is a group of experts around the world, we were all writing. Because we all take notes, because personal development is an everyday thing, not a one-day thing. And so we actually feel that, see, exactly, you see it. And I was watching this as well, and we were taking notes. We were taking two kinds of notes, because we also saw all your questions coming by, and we'll get the panel to answer as many questions as you can come with. But this is more gold. It's a last day. It's only the first day of the rest of your life. And if you want to get into leadership, personal development, and you're developing a growth mindset is so important. Raj has talked about it. So we have got quite a few of your questions already, but keep them coming, and keep liking and sharing, and bring your friends. If they're not here, they're missing out. And there is another 45 minutes, and we're going to ask all these amazing panel members great questions, your questions, because you are important to us. So I will start with a question from Zarin Tashnim Meda, and also Abida Rumana. They asked a similar question, and I would like to ask Edidah. Edidah, how can I develop my growth mindset, and how does it work?
Okay, catching us unawares, as you say. First of all, thank you so much, Raj. I am very inspired, and that really got me. I have a lot of notes. So how can I develop a growth mindset? Not different from what Raj has shared. First of all, believe in yourself. Believe that you can. You can do it. You are the person who is right at the center of your life. So take charge and know that once you stand as the leader in your own life, then there is nothing that can defeat you. You will start on a journey, and you will learn as you go, and then you will get to your goals. As Raj told us, know where you're going. What is your journey? Where do you want to go? Where are you right now? And once you know where you are, and once you know the opportunities you have in your life and the challenges you have therein, then you know how to overcome the challenges and then reach for your opportunities. Take 100% responsibility for your life. It's not your father, it's not the government, it's not your employer or your school. I normally tell students, when you are at campus, at university, and you do a test and you score 95%, what do you say? Wow, yes, I did it. I worked hard, I'm smart. But wait until someone scores 49%. What do they say? The mean, malicious professor gave me 45%. No, it's not the mean, malicious, because the same professor gave someone 95%. So he's not malicious. It is you, my friend. How much time are you investing in yourself? How much time are you investing in moving from where you were to where you want to be? Do you actually know where you want to be? Find clarity. Find clarity on where you were and on where you want to be. And then blocks will appear. You will get scared, like where I want to be is scary. I don't know how to get there. But fear is fuel. Use it as fuel. Just know that that is warning you of how much you need to learn, of which people you need to look for so they can support you, which mentor you need to find, which course you need to take, so that you can learn how to take the journey effectively. So yes, it's a journey. There isn't any one single answer that is going to take you there. Just find clarity on where you are and on where you want to be. Set the objectives that are smart and start taking actions, because knowing it is not going to get you there. You can have all the information, my friend. Congratulations. You have read books. You have watched the movies. You have listened to podcasts. Thank you. That is not going to take you anywhere until you start taking actions. The difference between the one who gets their objectives, their goals, and the one who stays here complaining is the amount of actions that they are each willing to take. Now, you didn't tell me how much time I should take. I could go on and on. Should I stop?
You're doing brilliantly. I'm loving this. I'm loving
Shall
this.
I continue?
I love this complaining
Okay,
part. I like that.
I want to give a personal story, a personal experience of, wow, it's getting warmer and warmer. You know, at the age of 16, I dropped out of school for lack of school fees. Hello? Now, when a 16-year-old girl drops out of school, there are quite some opportunities around for some people. You know, like I was 16, everything was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I was a beautiful girl. And so why not? Marriage. It was like, get married. There are so many beautiful things that will happen when you get married. Your family will get dowry. That's very important in my community. Your father will not be stressed by looking for school fees. And the suitors are there. They are just around. Did I take that offer? No. I had to choose. Take 100% responsibility. I knew that's not what is going to take me to where I want to be. So I remember a very stubborn, notorious conversation that I had with this one suitor. He told me, you know what, because I said, I am in school, although I am out right now for school fees, I know somehow I'll go back to school. And he said, you know, even if you go to school and you study and you get degrees, as a woman, and I don't know about your cultures, but that is what is in the air, in my culture. As a woman, your office will always be in the kitchen. And I said, oh, okay. Now, tell me, there are many types of kitchens. There's one where you use firewood. There's one where you use charcoal. There's one where you use electricity. There's one. So which kitchen are you offering me? I really knew I wasn't going to live my entire life being this local village poor girl that is lacking in every way. I had my first pair of shoes at the age of 15. And I just knew I was going to go to school, study, get a degree at the least. Somehow I didn't know how all that was going to be realized, but I was going to do it. And then I would buy shoes. And then I would get, you know, the things that I desire. Top of the list, of course, at that age was shoes. But I said no to the offers that were not going to take me from where I was to where I wanted to be. And what did I do? I took action. I went and borrowed books from my neighbors, from where the people who were still in school. And while they went to school because they paid fees, I waited for them to bring the notes. And I read right in my house. But I also reached out to people who could help. And then I got help, relatives, friends, and everyone who realized I wasn't moving anywhere started helping. I went back to school. Long story short, today I hold oh my goodness, it's a long list, but an honors degree, a master's degree. I'm a certified trainer with Jam Movement, a trainer with Jack Canfield, and many other accolades. I have also written a book. I have a dream. And my goodness, it is a fulfilling life when you realize where you are and you realize where you want to be, and then you begin taking the journey, the steps, and you overcome the blocks that come in the way, because they are going to be there. They're going to be blocks. But as long as you have the right mindset and you know where you want to be, then, my friend, nothing will stop you.
Wonderful, wonderful answer. And I hope you're getting this. I mean, we are looking down, but it's not because we don't want to look in a camera or look at all your audience. We are actually looking at your comments, and Arthie is writing everything that is being said as much as possible for you, so you can actually copy it if you're missing any of this, because I'm sure you must be missing some of this. It's like reading a book the first time and you go back the next time, but a lot of it is in the comments box, so thanks to Arthie at the same time. Now, I've got the next question, and this is for Mr. Tanbir. It is from Roji Hassan Shashi, and he's asking, the growth of your mindset is also affected by your surroundings. How can I close my mind tightly so it does not affect me so easily?
Okay, that's an interesting point. Can you listen me? I am audible?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you to Raj and for excellent presentations, and thanks to Edidah for echoing many things and bringing some new components. So coming to these questions, before going to that, answering to the particular questions, I had a couple of points to add here. That mindset is all about your thought process. I mean that your belief and you're setting a purpose of life. So if you are really keen on that, if you're really to the point on that, so in our life, what happens, that there are many surrounding components. It can be family, as Edidah rightly mentions, that personal life example, that what exactly happened at the age of 16. So that we all experience in our life journey. It can be a socio, it can be political, it can be family issues that can really impact, that can really disturb our own journey. So it has to be, individual has to be very focused for that. The simple equation is that I need to be focused. I can give my example again. That would be better, because it's very important that we talk from our own journey. That gives more confidence and that gives more practical example. I was born in Bangladesh, and I had a fair academic results all the way. But when I completed my graduation and post-graduation in pharmacy from Dhaka University, then I decided myself that I want to build my career in pharmaceutical marketing business. So I decided the arena, because you know that in pharmaceutical there are many areas. And then I also decided, because I had a passion to see the world, that was my personal vision, that I want to meet people, I want to go across the world. So I decided that I want to work for marketing or business professions, where that will help me to travel, to meet people. This is number one. Then number two, because of my family reasons, I decided myself to be in Bangladesh. And that's my point, to decide on that I want to build my career in global organizations. And where there is also a mindset issue, that working for a global organizations, sometimes the perception in the marketplace is that we are working for global organizations, not local companies. But the perception is very clear. We're working for global organizations to make sure the best-in-class pharmaceutical products can be served to the people of Bangladesh. So all these are coming to create a purpose of life. It's not so easy for everyone who become all the way to a certain success level in our journey. We need to be very focused. Very focused. I would repeat this word, and that mindset. I usually take out some time with Kamrul bhai in other programs. There is one formula I follow. That is not a creation, I would say. That is the kind of example I give. So that is an alphabets. One is alphabets in the first alphabet of English letters. That is A, B, C, D, E. And I will start with E. E means execution excellence. That execution excellence, meaning reaching to your performance, reaching to your success, it depends on first four letters, A, B, C, D. And A stands for attitude and aptitude. And I start with attitude. That's the mindset. And of course, as Raj mentioned, that you have the if you are a professional, you need to have some university educations as well. You need to be in the business school as well. So that aptitude, that skill set, we must also build. So attitude and aptitude, if it is there, then B is a believe and behave. You have to believe yourself, as Edidah mentioned. You have to believe that you can make it happen. And if you believe, then you have to behave. That's the two words, believe and behave. Because I believe I can touch the sky, but I am sitting on my chair, not even trying to fly or jump. Then I cannot touch the sky. So I have to believe and I have to behave, meaning I have to put some incremental efforts to reach to my belief. That is behave. I have to behave accordingly. So if I have the attitude and aptitude, if I have a belief and behave accordingly, then C is the compliance. In the business world now, we are talking about compliance. I don't want to make things complex. It's a compliance and consistency. Meaning many people, many students, young students we find nowadays, they start a profession in certain department. In 6 months' time, they move other organizations. In 9 months' time, they change the discipline and they are moving on. So consistency is very important, what I want to be. And for that, the first word I mentioned, that creating a purpose of life is very important. And D, the next letter, is the discipline. The very old gold word, but nobody can really ignore the importance of discipline. And another D is their determination, determine. So if a person have that attitude and aptitude, has a proper belief on himself or herself and behave accordingly, then the compliance mindset and the consistency, proper discipline and determinations, that will bring the execution excellence. The A, B, C, D can connect to the E. So again, it's all about our mindset, our focus, our belief that can really help individual not to be deviating from our mindset. So I don't know that whether I could answer it properly, but you know that these are the area we can discuss 24 hours or 5 days in a row. We cannot really complete to a concrete answer, but I respect the presentation of Raj, Edidah. I am sure what we all are talking, more or less coming to the same discussion point, that how a proper mindset is developed and how we can really build on that.
Thank you very much. And again, I hope people are taking notes there, but the A, B, C, D, and E. I'm not gonna ask you questions about it just now to find out if you did take notes. But I mean, you're losing out, because we can't remember everything. We can only remember some things. But when we write them down, more of it we can remember. It's been proven, and I hope you're actually here. And keep the questions coming. It's actually amazing, all this wisdom. And as Mr. Tanbir said as well, you know, we're coming to the same kind of conclusion, but we all have our perceptions, our thought, our learning, our backgrounds. We're bringing it all to the table in a different way, but in the end, it's all about the development growth mindset. So Arthie's got a question now for our friend Sheikh.
Oh, Sheikh, I've been waiting to surprise you with a question. You know, when I was reading a lot of stuff, and we've worked with you before, I was intrigued by your thinking. What I loved is the way you've created your mentoring and your coaching for everybody, but also especially for youth development. You run a lot of successful masterminds, and it's always amazing that people don't understand the depth and how masterminds can add value to growth mindset. I know we're talking about belief systems and we're talking about all of the deeper stuff, but that's a practical tool that people can engage with. And I know that CKH Network was running some masterminds, but a lot of people didn't quite understand it. And with your youth mentoring program, I think it would be a stunning platform to actually engage with everybody. Tell us, what have your experiences been using different tools and techniques to help young people to grow an amazing mindset?
Excellent question, Arthie. Wow. I'm audible?
Yeah.
You can hear? Okay. Yeah, excellent question. And first of all, I want to thank Kamrul and everyone involved. And of course, the presentation that Raj did. And as usual, he's excellent, he's awesome. And I always listen to what he's talking about and go back to what he just said. And in this case, of course, a few other things that you guys talked about before the answer to my question, just to recap on a few things so that way we get into the mindset, because sometimes getting into the zone takes time. So as you actually heard by now, that within that short talk, Raj has actually touched on growth, which is learning mindset, mentors, which is guidance or student mindset, then celebrate, or basically to get yourself rewarded, progress mindset, and then he talked about action also. And then Edidah talked about, some of the experience that she had and some mindset, a different way she learned at the age of 16. So understand one thing, that the way she learned, or probably more than likely, she learned more than the person who took the notes in the school and went to the school, right? That's because the mindset she had. And of course, the way Tanbir actually segregated the process and everything, and then the strong desire to get to the point. So you see the questions that all of you are asking for people in Bangladesh or whoever is listening, all these questions are already answered here. So it's about your mindset, how you catch on to that. So for the youth question, the mastermind question that Arthie, you said, just one quick information I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to get into that answer, is that, you see, there is a saying that Bill Gates, if he leans down and take a $100 bill, $100 note or bill in his pocket, he's wasting time. See, that's a different mindset. On the other hand, Elon Musk, some of these people, so let's say you make a $1, $2, $3 million extra this year on top of what you already do. Some of you are broke in Bangladesh in a student, I know that. আমি জানি আপনাদের কি হইতেছে বা কেমন অবস্থা কি হইতেছে, because আমি সেই এনভায়রনমেন্টে ছিলাম. Anyway, going back to that you some of you are doing really well, and some of them are in this panel, I know. But still, $1, $2, $3 million extra in your life is going to make a huge difference. Am I correct? Can I get a yes or say nod or something like that? Okay. But $1, $2, $3 million extra in Elon Musk's life is not going to make much difference in his lifestyle, right? So that's the mindset. I mean, it's completely different things. So how you think about how it's helping you. And then coming into John Maxwell team as an executive leader or director in that, and being involved with Arthie, Jan, and many others, of course Raj and others. One thing I learned, and which our mentor Dr. John Maxwell has said, that some of your best thinking comes from others. He says that his best thinking comes from others. So a leadership guru, a world-renowned leader, is saying that, who am I to talk about it, right? So it's given that is called the mastermind. Mastermind by Napoleon Hill, which is the author of the Think and Grow Rich, one of the most read books on earth so far, has talked about that mastermind. So when you have other people thinking for you and giving you those tips, that's where your growth comes in. So that's why I believe in mastermind. That's why I believe in collaboration. That's why I work in teamwork. That's why, because there is no way you can be smarter than all of us together. And that's the whole goal of this mastermind. Even reading a book, when you are reading with somebody else and with others, you will find something better. When you're listening to a tape, not tape these days, of course, anymore, a talk or motivational speech or anything like that, or reading a book, second time you read it, you understand more. Third time you read it, you're like, okay, did I read this book before? That kind of, why? Because you have another mindset, you have another thinking power that you just grew in yourself. And that's what's kicking in. That's what's, and as long as you have that mentality to learn, and that ability to really retain that, as Jan was saying, Are you taking notes and stuff? It's not that you're not listening, you're not understanding. The notes is because you only retain 10 to 15% of what you see. And I heard about Bill Gates, sometimes he retains up to 50%, which is a lot. But anyway, Arthie, going back to your question, yes, I think that's basically what I wanted to say, that yes, for youth, of course, I mean, it's the same, nothing different for adults. The only thing is some of the youth or the older, newer generation, they're getting exposed to a few things for the first time. You know, you teach how to tie a shoe to your, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. It's like when you just, okay, you do it, take 2 laces and do this. You're like, oh, wow, really? How do you do that? And then he goes into one step, another step. So they catch on to the system. But then at the 10 years old kid, if you want to show that, it may not work the same way because they have already seen it. So for the youth, so similar mentality, some of the things or the newer generation, some of the things you may not see it, you may have, you might be seeing it for the first time. So when you see it for the first time, yes, it's going to be a little bit of a wow, a little bit of different and all those things. So exposing yourself to that excellent information, that excellent thing that will help you grow yourself, that's what the trick is. And that's what Mastermind will do to you. Back to you, Arthie.
I love the explanation. It was beautifully said. And I love the fact that what you're bringing to mind is that we don't know everything. And if we humble ourselves to continuously learn and develop, the growth mindset actually stimulates our thinking to understand that there's so much more out there. And somebody actually said, it was George Bernard Shaw who said that even if you're on the right track, if you just sit there, you'll still get run over by the train. So if you think you're on the right track right now in your life, how will you know any different? How do you know which direction your journey ought to go in? Unless you surround yourself and ask for feedback, be guided by a core team of people who have your vested interest at their hearts, people who actually add value to you. And I find that lends brilliantly to what masterminds do. It's solution focused, it's guidance by other people and accountability partners. I loved what you had to say. And I know that with everybody taking notes, it's excellent that you're doing that. Well done. But now, if you've been listening carefully, Jan has got something even more crazy and awesome to tell you about. I think that we should go to a quiz. What do you think?
But before we go to the quiz, and Jahid or Ovi will come on to do a quiz for all the students here, but they can win prizes. But also, if you've been taking notes and you give a summary of at least 10 sessions, and I have actually saw somebody earlier on who has given summaries for 35 sessions over the last 8 days. So congratulations, you're a true champion. There's no doubt about it. But if you do that and you submit 10 session summary, so a summary from this session as well as 9 others, you will get a book, you get a crest and a certificate. And a champion who writes the most of them, they will receive 5 books. So that if you want some books and if you would like a crest or a certificate in your appreciation that you've actually taken notes and you've given summaries, you will get some of these prizes like a book, a crest, sometimes 5 books. But please submit them to KH Network, and this is something that you will receive. Now, I hope Ovi or Jahid are ready, because they have a quiz for you that you can answer and also win prizes, like most quizzes do. Are you there, Jahid or Ovi? Oh, there you go. It says, there you go. Who is the author of the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth? Is it A, Simon Sinek, B, John C. Maxwell, C, Steve Jobs, or D, Tony Roberts? So write A, B, C, or D in your comments box now and do it for the next few seconds. If you know the answer, and if you want to guess, you can put all 4 of them in 4 different answers. But I hope you know the answer, and put it in the comments box, and you can win some prizes in this quiz. I see answers coming in already. Great, keep them coming. Who is the author in the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth? And again, also keep the questions coming. We have another 20 minutes maximum, and then we have to make room for another exciting session that will be coming after this. But I hope you're learning something just now. I hope during this week and during these 8 days, again, we need to thank Augmedix for being the sponsor of this, and also in association with IPDC, who have really, they've also put their hands in their pockets. They said, we believe in the CKH network. We believe in what they're doing. We believe in that they bring in this next gen leadership virtual summit to many thousands of students. And we know that this will be the start of these next generation leaders becoming the leaders of tomorrow, because they're gaining knowledge today. And that is very important. It's an everyday thing. Success, personal development is not a one-day thing. It's an everyday thing. And that's why you see all of us taking notes here as well, because when somebody else brings something to the table in a different way, it's sometimes easier for somebody to get it as well. And we don't want to miss out. So I hope you're not missing out either. So having said that, and you've done your quiz, you can still take part. If you have the answers, put them in the box. And then I have a question for Raj. It's a small question, but it's been asked a few times. And Misty Dutta actually asked, how can you mentioned this about celebrating successes? How can we do that?
Sure. First thing is, how do you celebrate failures?
Yeah.
Okay. Many times what happens is so let's start with that. Many times when we have a failure, most of us try to sweep it under the rug. We don't want to learn from it. We just feel that we have failed and it is of no value to us, and we try to hide it. But instead of that, if you make it a learning curve from the failure and you learn something from what happened, because whatever you have done has given you an experience of what maybe not to do again or in the similar manner. So that is how you learn from your failure. But failures, as many times most of the gurus out there are saying, is you need to fail, keep on massive failing and everything. And I understand that, because that is how you step up that ladder and make it. But from my perspective, success is as important, because nothing succeeds like success. Okay, that is important. What value success adds to you is important. So what happens is, if you have succeeded in something, don't let it be like, it's fine, not a big deal that I succeeded in this. Most of the people do that. They don't value that success. What you need to do is you need to make that as a celebration. What celebration meaning to say is, do a small party maybe. Do something as a gathering with your friends. I have succeeded. I have done this. Put that passion in yourself. Just make it so good that whenever you go back into that state, you will be feeling that level of success. Put it like, let it come in and let it pour into you. It is not like many people think, I'm not being modest. I'm being this. I don't care if you're being modest. You don't need to be modest. If you have succeeded in something, then you need to just go out and just yell at the top of your lungs, I have succeeded. I have done this. Tell it to people. It is not, because what happens is, most of the time the mind thinks is, yes, I've succeeded here, but what happens next time if I fail? How are people going to judge me? Don't care about it. First thing is, don't care what people think. Either way, that's the bottom line, because people are not the ones who are going to be willing to push you where you need to be. You have to do all that. So bottom line in this is, whatever way you feel is the best for you, celebrate that success. And let that celebration keeping on going to the point where you have all that positive energy in you. So next time, when a thing happens which you deem as a failure, be clear, there's no failures. Deem as a failure. You go back into the state when you had that success. You put yourself back into that mode, and you know what? Things are going to change. So that is my short note on the celebration of success.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I mean, it is so true. We always worry about our failures and we think about those. We never think about our successes. And we also think too much about what other people think of us. And my friend, the mentor Les Brown, always says, don't let anybody else's opinion of you ever become your reality. Exactly. And that is going to be a choice. And that's therefore, as you said, don't care what other people think. You need to celebrate your successes. But we've been told as little kids already, we should not we should not keep the emphasis on us. We should care more about other people. We shouldn't talk about ourselves, but we need to talk about ourselves. We need to start sharing our successes and celebrate our successes. So thanks very much. Now I've got a question for both Arthie and Adida, and this came from Zarin Tashinim Meda. She asked, how do you encourage growth mindset at work? So
I don't wanna.
Okay.
I think it's an excellent question, and we shall tag team on this. We have doubled our numbers of woman power here, so let's take on the workplace. Why don't we? Yeah, it's a woohoo moment. Thank you so much for the question. What are your thoughts, Edidah?
Okay. In the workplace, first of all, when you enter the workplace with the same mindset of growth, you start from taking 100% responsibility. I think that's the beginning of everything. One, are you willing and ready to learn what it will take for you to be successful in this workplace? What is there for you to learn? What is there for you to give? What is the mission of this organization? What are they out to accomplish? And if you know yourself and you're on a journey of growth, then you have a mission yourself. How does the mission of this organization tie in with yours? How is it going to help you to achieve and accomplish your own mission? Once you have those married, and you know that by working, giving your best, giving your very best, being engaged, understanding your job, and doing it to the maximum of your ability, learning what you want, you should learn so that you will grow better and better. When you get that clear, money stops being the motivation. What they are paying you or not paying you stops being the motivation or hindrance. You want to give your best because you're the best anyway. You understand that when you perform at your very best, at your God-given potential, you are the same person who will grow. Yes, your organization will grow, but first beginning with you, you will grow. And let me ask a question. So what about when you perform at a mediocre level? Who becomes a mediocre? You. So when you realize that by supporting your organization to accomplish their mission, its mission, that is helping you accomplish your own mission, then you jump in head to bottom and you give your very best and you stretch yourself in achieving your organizational goals, then you will never be the same again.
Absolutely. I love that. I love it about excellence, always doing your best, giving your best. I also love what you said about, understand what the company's mission and values are. Always be with a company where your values resonate with the values of yourself. What is your personal beliefs? And so one of the things that I'd love to answer to add value to this question is that I work with a lot of organizations internationally. And what I've come across is a lot of mindsets where people use it as an excuse for why they cannot grow. I love that we get to the point where we realize something is simple that I always share on all of my talks, even on Coach Kamrul's sessions. The simplicity of understanding what the glass ceiling effect is. We're talking about growth mindset here. Mindset has everything to do with your belief systems and the way you train your brain, your conscious and subconscious mind to think. And what is within your subconscious belief systems actually is seen in your conscious actions, in your every daily actions, your behaviors, and the habits that you have. So when I was looking at the glass ceiling effect, I was looking at what are the perspectives we've allowed to become our unconscious biases and programming that prevents us from having growth mindset or abundance mentality. And the simplicity of it is the glass ceiling effect is used as an excuse for why men hold women back or why women are holding men back, why they are using it as an excuse for how come women have got more opportunities. Okay, let's move on. everybody needs to have opportunities regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. When we level that understanding and thinking, that's a growth mindset. When we believe that every human being has a right to be on this earth, that's a growth mindset. Respect belongs to every single person, that is a growth mindset. When we believe that we add value and we are there to serve and to grow others, that's a growth mindset. So when you look at the glass ceiling effect, that's your excuse for why you use that not to lift the lid on your potential. Glass is see-through, it is transparent, it can be broken, it can be shattered. So look at what are your belief systems, what are the thinkings and the attitudes that you hold strong that you use as an excuse not to grow and not to prosper, whether you're at home, in your work environment, or even in a university. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. What's holding you back in your own thinking? And then when you can actually take a step back, you'll realize that you've always been in charge and in control and accountable for every success that you have, as well as every failure you do not take responsibility for. So take a deep breath. Be gentle with yourself, because this is an amazing life filled with adventure. As long as you embrace it as an adventure, that every single thing that you have
Wow.
So we'll leave it to another question.
Yeah, the combination of two women together,
Tag team.
It's not just synergy, it's so powerful. I mean, you got two sides, and there's many sides to it, but you got two wonderful insights, especially from a woman's perspective, but all men can take notes from this as well. And I think same as when men talk, women can take notes as well, because Arthie has a tagline as well: ladies and gentlemen, unite. We are all stronger together. Ooh, I just lost Mr. No, back. Now, we have another 8 minutes left, so I would like to ask another few questions, and then maybe a roundup of everybody bringing one more thing to the table that really can be powerful to leave all these eager students with. But this question is by Sabria Sultana Lisa and Zareen Tajnim. And it was actually a combination of two questions. The first part was, how does your mindset affect success? But then it went over to, what is the importance of growth mindset in the classroom? And since especially there's many students here, I think that might be the more important part of it to answer, maybe even a combination. Mr. Tanbir, please.
Yeah, it's a very important aspect. I have decided myself around 6-7 years back, I would say, to, apart from my professional journey, build some commitment to voluntarily visit the universities to discuss on this. And basically, when I go to the university, I don't talk on marketing or pharmacy or technical points. I always talk on this topic, that in a university or in a college, if you see there are 50 students in a classroom, sometimes the old school of thought was the CGPA or the class, the marks, the percentage of marks they are getting. But nowadays, if we look at the corporate from the different perspective, when we get the interview of the fresh candidates, we really go for the observations of the mindset. So you see that out of 4, CGPA 3.9 or X university, Y university, sometimes it becomes just a entry support to the interview board. But once the person is the interview board, the scenario is different. In the modern world, nobody really looks at the CGPA the person is carrying with him or her. So I'm coming to the answer to that particular point, but this is the background I'm talking about. So organizations, the global organizations, or even the local big organizations, they are trying to read the mindset, the growth mindset of even fresh candidates, that how they look their career aspects, how they look the organizations, how they want to see their professional career success. Meaning, listening to the student, teachers, lectures, and taking the notes and having a good marks in the exam is not the whole story. So the growth mindset of a professional starts from the very beginning of school, college, and most particularly in university level. So individual students can really make a difference. Whether he is say, for example, a student can be a student of physics, and he can study all the physics, but there is a different world beyond physics, even for that student. So that learning aptitude, that growth mindset can really help of her to grow and equip himself or herself for the professional development. So that again coming to the growth mindset, that not being really confined to a limited boundary. Look up the horizons, increase your thought process. And sometimes one of the different point components can come in the discussions that as an individual, including myself, we are not in a position to accept the imperfections or failures. So that's the limiting factor sometimes. Even in the classroom, when we get a poor marks in certain exams, we become frustrated. And probably that is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for that particular student to really put some extra efforts to learn that subject area. So it's very important, the growth mindset being cultivated from the student life, that can really initiate the initial basement of a professional success.
Thank you very much. So again, another great answer. We have got a few minutes left, and I would like everyone, all four of you, to come with one powerful thing, a short, powerful, whether it's a line or a quote or something you would like to provide the students with that they can also take home. And they've got plenty to take home already, plenty to mull over, but give us all one thing. And I want to start with our friend Sheikh. Please, what can you give to your students, just something powerful to take home?
Well, what I can say, we talked about a lot of things here, and Raj talked about different things, and there's core teaching and deep dive into subconscious mind and all those. So don't get confused. So that's not the idea here. You have to set your own mindset and find is what you're trying to achieve, and find things that is your quality, is what's within you. So just one quick example of that is John Maxwell team has given the opportunity. There was a gap in the market that some of the people, coaches or development people, they didn't know what to do, and they have a guide. On the other hand, there was another gap from the student perspective in Bangladesh and a few others, which they needed help like this, leadership growth and all this. So CKH Kamrul started that. So in Bangladesh, which is great. And then there's what is the gap that you need to develop within your career, And from Unix leadership, from me and my team, we are doing the similar thing, another gap. The people who graduated or within the workforce 1-2 years, what do they need to do? We're trying to fill in that gap now. We're launching that soon with Johns Hopkins and Yale and Catholic University and a few others in the US soon. But what I'm trying to say is basically what comes to your mind when success is subjective in one sense, that because a person who created that success one time, and he's, let's say, a real estate guy or something, very successful guy, but the next day the market crashed. Does that mean that successful person who made millions, he is not successful anymore? He's unsuccessful? So it's not the measure of money. It's your mind, what your success is, where you want to go. So that's what I want to leave my thoughts to you guys in the interest of time. But definitely, keep it going daily. It's as Jan and Arthie, they also said, it's a daily thing. It's not a one-day thing. Okay. So good luck and thank you all.
Wonderful, Sheikh, for sharing that. Again, another gold nugget to take home. Raj, for you as well, one quick thing that they can take home, apart from everything you've already brought to the keynote and the panel discussion. One quick thing.
One quick thing is that invest in yourself. There's nothing better than that. Invest in yourself and make growth a daily habit. It has to be a daily habit. That's the only way you will succeed.
Well, that's powerful. Straight to the point, powerful, and again, a golden nugget again. Adida, please, from you as well.
Okay. All these things we have said, you have heard, and you've had in many sessions, are not going to help you unless you take action. It is action, not knowledge, not what you've had, not what you've read. So please go ahead, decide which direction you want to go, and take the action towards that, and practice consistent persistence. When things go hard, persist. When things don't work out, persist. When people discourage you, persist. When you feel lazy, persist and go about it with integrity. When you decide that you're waking up to read, wake up and read. You promised yourself or you promised another person. When you decided that you're going to, whatever decision you decide, go about it with integrity. Integrity being doing the things you said you would do. And finally, stay attached to the places that lead you to growth and to the people that lead you to growth. Now you have the Kamrul, Coach Kamrul, and the next gen program. Please don't lose it. Don't get detached. Stay in those places where there are growth-minded people so that you can flock with the same birds of the same feathers.
Thank you very much. Again, another amazing insight, and I hope people have taken notes. And finally, but not last but not least, Mr. Tanbir, also something powerful and short to take away.
Yes, I would say the young professional, just believe in yourself. That is most important. Learn every day and think very positively. And the one example we can always use, if the glass is half filled, we can still say that's half empty or half full. And we need to learn to see it half full, not half empty. That makes the whole difference. Thank you.
And thank you very much. And Arthie?
I think that very simply, there's a saying by Eleanor Roosevelt who says that nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. And simply put, do not let anything, anybody, or your circumstances depend how you can grow in this life. Don't let race, culture, gender, religion, people's laws, and the things that's happening around you to determine your ability to succeed. Just take charge of your life because you're worth it. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, what a quote to finish with. And again, we heard so much today, and even these last points, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, take action, and know what success is, because your success is depending much on you. Don't leave it to anybody else. And Les Brown always says, we're going to go and get some ups and downs. And when the downs comes, he has a great quote. He says, whenever you fall down, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So make sure that, yes, we're going to go and have failures, but nothing is final, because failures gives us experience, so we can move into tomorrow more prepared. So, I wish you all well. I really want to thank each and every one. I want to thank my partner, Arthie. I want to thank Edidah from Uganda, Mr. Tanbir from Bangladesh itself, our friends Sheikh Rahman from Maryland, the United States, and Mr. Raj Kapoor for his wonderful keynote as well from Virginia in the United States.
Not far from the White House.
Not far from the White House, maybe. But, it's been an amazing session. It's great. It's amazing how quickly this passed. I mean, we've been just over 2 hours, but I really want to thank everybody. I know that you've had some amazing thoughts and amazing knowledge, and I want to hand over to our dear friend and the organization that made it all happen, CKH Network, in association with IPDC and many other people, as well as the entire team and the sponsors, Augmedix. Absolutely great. And I look forward to the closing ceremony tonight already, Mr. Kamrul, Hasan. And over to you.
Thank you so much, Jan, Arthie, Edidah, Tanbir, Sajib bhai, Raj Kapoor, brilliant keynote, and of course, Sheikh Rahman bhai. These are the people actually whom I met in places and very close to me, and I know they actually deliver gold and diamond. So that's why they're here, and because this is a mission to me, I take it very seriously, and this is a serious mission for the youth development of the nation. In the next 5 years, within 5 years, we are going to impact at least a million students' life to change from at home to abroad. And we're inviting you for the next session, where you would meet 3 powerful head of HRs from a country. From 7:15 p.m., head of HR Robi, head of HR Bcash, the largest mobile banking company in the world, and also Citigroup, along with international 2 speakers from US to Sri Lanka as well. Inviting all of you to join the next session, 7:15, and next 9:15, another session for the economy with the Premier Bank MD, the chairman of Prime Finance, and some other guests. And 10 p.m., the closing session. 11 p.m. onward, the ceremony for to enjoy along with the students. They will perform. We will watch. We're inviting all of you to be with our students and the community. Thank you all for being with us. It's been amazing. Thank you. My gratitude to all of you, the viewers and everybody. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.